The palace of Red Moon Pack was nothing like I imagined. It wasn't just a building. It breathed power. White marble columns soared toward an arched ceiling painted with constellations. Gold chandeliers bathed everything in warm light, making even the shadows look expensive. Guards lined the walls, wolves in human form, emotionless, still trained to kill with a single command. And me? I felt like a crack in a perfect glass. My heart hammered as I stood in the long queue of women, each one flawless, tall, elegant, wearing gowns worth more than my entire house. My dress was plain, silver, stitched from leftover fabric I found in a wooden crate behind the maid laundry room. My stepsister Liana called it garbage. I thought simple was enough. But standing here, I knew I was wrong. There were whispers. That girl? Who let her in? Is that fabric or recycled curtains? She looks like a servant. Heat crawled up my neck, shame burning through my veins, but I forced my shoulders back. Being invisible, I was used to it. Being mocked, Liana made sure it became a normal routine. The ballroom doors opened, and everyone moved forward a step. Liana, dripping in diamonds so bright they could blind someone, leaned in close to me, her voice sickly sweet. Offer him a curtsy and a shy smile. That's the best you can do, Celine. Who knows, maybe he'll consider you as a royal maid. I swallowed, ignoring the sting. Why do you hate me so much, Liana? She didn't even pretend to think about it. Because you exist. I looked away. My wolf stirred inside me, calm, steady, unlike me. We don't need her approval, she murmured. I clenched my jaw. You're right. The next moment, we were inside the ballroom. The orchestra stopped. Every conversation died. The silence was suffocating. A powerful command boomed, presenting His Highness, the Alpha King Ares of the Red Moon Pack. The air changed, thickened. Footsteps echoed. He walked in through massive golden doors, surrounded by elite guards. His presence was a thunderstorm dressed in black, tall, broad-shouldered, ink-black hair, eyes the color of steel. His aura rolled across the crowd like a shockwave of raw authority. Every woman straightened, breathless. Liana touched up her lip gloss and whispered, "Watch me win." My chest tightened. I wasn't here to win. I was here because ever since I shifted last week, a pull dragged me to this palace like an invisible force. My wolf whispered a name over and over. Ares. Alpha King Ares. But that was impossible. A mate bond only happened to fated wolves, not to someone like me. A nobody. A forgotten daughter. The king walked forward, gaze sharp, assessing the crowd without interest, until suddenly he stopped. His head snapped in my direction. My chest tightened so painfully I could barely breathe. His eyes locked with mine, and I felt something inside me tear open. Like a door I never knew existed. Heat shot through me, my pulse racing so hard my ears rang. My wolf gasped inside my head. Mate. I froze. That's impossible. His jaw tightened, breath catching like he felt the same pull. His eyes darkened, not cold anymore, but burning with something primal. Possessive. Liana noticed. She slid in front of me like a jeweled barricade. Your Majesty, she purred, I am Liana Whitlock, daughter of, move. One word. Sharp. Commanding. Alpha. Her smile cracked. He didn't even look at her. He walked straight toward me. Every step echoed like it was marking fate. I should look away. I should curtsy. I should run. But I couldn't move. It felt like invisible threads pulled us together, weaving something old, ancient, sacred. He stopped inches in front of me. Close enough for me to feel his warmth. Close enough that I could see the gold flecks in his silver eyes. You. My throat dried. What is your name? His voice was low, dangerous, sensual. Like a king used to being obeyed. I swallowed. Celine. The way he breathed my name, like he memorized it. Celine, he repeated, slow and reverent. You're not leaving my sight tonight. Liana gasped. Women whispered. A noble girl somewhere said, he never speaks to anyone. But the Alpha King didn't care. He extended his hand toward me. But right when my fingers touched his skin, a loud scream cut through the ballroom. A maid crashed onto the floor, gasping for breath, her tray clattering. But her trembling hand wasn't reaching for the tray. She pointed at me. They told me to warn you, she sputtered, eyes wide in terror. Someone wants to kill. Her voice vanished, replaced by choking. Blood spilled from her mouth. People screamed. Guards rushed. Chaos erupted. My heart hammered. The king's arms wrapped around me before I could react. I was against his chest, hidden behind him, his body shielding mine like a wall. Guards, he roared. Secure the perimeter. His voice shook the hall. He turned to me, gripping my chin, forcing me to meet his eyes. You're not safe here. What's happening? There was poison in her drink, he said coldly. That tray was meant for you. My blood turned to ice. Someone tried to kill me? But why? I wasn't a threat to anyone. Behind him, I saw Liana's face. Frozen, stunned, almost pale. And then she smiled. A tiny, satisfied smile. Like a cat watching a mouse walk into a trap. My heart stopped. Did she? The king didn't notice her expression, but my wolf did. She wants us gone, my wolf growled. Ares lifted my chin again. His voice dropped to a whisper, dangerous, protective, possessive. I don't know who wants you dead. He leaned closer, so close his breath brushed my lips. But I swear on the moon goddess, whoever tries to harm what's mine will die. My breath caught. What's yours? His eyes turned molten silver. You. His words echoed in my skull. You're mine. No alpha should claim a mate without the moon blessing. No king should say that in front of hundreds of nobles. Yet, Ares said it as though my existence had already been carved into his destiny. My heart raced so hard it hurt. But I didn't have time to absorb the shock because guards were surrounding us, weapons drawn, scanning every corner of the ballroom. Elite warriors, silent, lethal. The maid who collapsed was already dead. Poison. Meant for me. Why would someone try to kill me before the mate bond was even confirmed? The king's voice cut through my dizziness. Celine, look at me. I forced myself to meet his eyes. Up close, his irises weren't just silver, they were storm-colored, with flecks of gold around the edges. A wolf barely caged behind human skin. You're trembling, he murmured. I'm fine. You're lying. His thumb brushed against my wrist. My pulse thudded against his skin, loud, frantic. He noticed. He always noticed. Liana sashayed closer, with theatrical shock on her face. Oh heavens, what a tragedy, she cried loudly, grabbing all attention. A poor maid just died. Are we sure she wasn't trying to hurt the king? Her voice trembled with the perfect balance of concern and panic. But her eyes were cold. She wasn't worried. She was calculating. Ares didn't even look at her. Instead, he cupped my jaw with surprising gentleness. Celine, we need to leave. Leave? I can't. My family is. He leaned down until his forehead nearly touched mine. They are not your family anymore. His voice was quiet, deadly. Before I could ask what he meant, his beta, tall, sharp-faced, with a scar down one cheek, approached. Your Majesty, we've checked the surroundings. The poison was nightshade black. Highly regulated, impossible for a maid to obtain. Ares' jaw locked. So someone planted it. Beta nodded, and she was forced to deliver the tray. Her tongue was cut. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. My legs nearly gave out. Someone cut her tongue, to silence her? Just to deliver a message, to me? Ares noticed the way I swayed and instantly held me steady by the waist. Don't look at the body, he murmured against my hair. You don't need to see that. I think I should sit. He hesitated, then scooped me into his arms like I weighed nothing. I gasped softly as he carried me through the crowd, past nobles, past guards, past the place. Where laughter had turned to dread. Gasps followed us. Whispers chased us. Who is she? Did he pick her as queen? That girl came with the Whitlocks, right? Liana sprinted behind us. Your Majesty, wait, she shouted, breathless. I am her stepsister. I need to stay with her. Ares stopped abruptly, turning his head just enough to give Liana a chilling look. Beta Cassian, he commanded, if this woman takes another step toward Celine, remove her from the hall. Liana froze like a statue. Her expression shattered, shock, disbelief, fury. But, your Majes, Cassian placed a hand on his sword. She shut up. Ares didn't spare her another glance. He carried me into a private corridor lined with stained glass windows. The moon shone through one of them, painting the floor silver and blue. His footsteps echoed off the marble. Ares, I whispered. He stopped. It was the first time I said his name. It felt intimate, too intimate. He slowly lowered me onto a velvet bench, kneeling in front of me. His thumbs brushed over my hands, grounding me. Tell me if you're hurt. I'm not. His gaze softened, barely. Celine, someone just tried to poison you. Stop pretending you're okay. That word again. Someone. Someone wanted me dead. But why would anyone, unless... My heart thudded as I remembered the tiny, proud smile on Liana's lips. Could Liana hate me that much? A memory flashed, her locking me in the cellar last winter to teach me discipline, my fingers bleeding from banging against the wooden door for hours. No one heard me, no one cared, but hate enough to kill me? My throat tightened. What if they try again? I whispered. Aries' expression shifted. Gone was the gentle concern. What replaced it was pure alpha rage. They won't. How can you be so sure? His answer came like a vow carved into stone. Because they'll have to kill me first. Silence drowned the hallway. My breath stilled. He meant it. Every word. Aries, you don't even know me. His fingers slid under my chin. I don't need to know. My wolf chose you. There it was again, that electric current when he touched me. My skin reacted before my brain did. But I'm nobody, I whispered. His eyes flashed. Don't ever say that again. His tone wasn't harsh, it was raw. Like my words personally offended every cell in his body. You walked into a room of nobles wearing a dress stitched by your own hands and held your chin high, he said. You think that makes you nobody? I blinked back tears. He saw me. He truly saw me. You're stronger than all of them, he whispered. And that scares people. Scares who? Whoever poisoned you. He stood and pulled me up gently. I'm taking you to the royal physician. Then you're staying in my wing. What? No. I can't stay with you, you can and you will. A dangerous softness crossed his expression. Until we find out who wants you dead, you don't leave my sight. Before I could argue, he pressed his palm to the side of my neck, right where the mate bond thrummed beneath the skin. Warmth surged through me. You feel it too, he whispered. I did. My wolf howled inside me, howling mate so strongly it felt like a physical pull. Footsteps echoed from behind us. Cassian approached, face tight. Your Majesty, we found something. He handed Aries a folded note. Aries opened it slowly. It contained only 4 words, written in blood. Claim her and she dies. My blood ran cold. Aries stared at the message, his expression turning into something vicious and murderous. He crushed the paper in his fist. His voice dropped to a deadly whisper. They want war. He looked at me. And they're going to get it. My breaths came shallow as the words on that blood-written note echoed inside my skull. Claim her and she dies. A threat. Not to the king. To me. Aries didn't crumble the note, he crushed it. His jaw clenched, his muscles tight with rage as the paper turned into scraps under his fingers. That's not a warning, Cassian murmured. That's a promise. Aries' voice dropped to a lethal tone. And I don't tolerate threats. The torches flickered, reacting to the force of his aura. Even the air tasted different, darker, sharper. Power radiated from him like lightning ready to strike. My hands shook. Someone wants me dead before we become official? He looked at me, not with pity, with possession. They won't get the chance. He ran a knuckle down my cheek, wiping away a tear I didn't realize had fallen. You're safe with me. No one touches what's mine. I swallowed hard. The dangerous softness in his voice scared me more than the threat. Cassian cleared his throat. Your Majesty, we need to keep moving. The longer you stand here, the more vulnerable she is. Aries nodded sharply and stepped beside me, close enough that our arms brushed. The contact soothed something inside me I never knew needed soothing. We started walking. The king's private wing. The deeper we went into the palace, the colder and quieter it became. Guards bowed as we passed, but Aries barely acknowledged them. His focus was on me. Every single step. Every time someone appeared at the end of the corridor, Aries moved in front of me slightly, shielding me without even thinking. He wasn't just an alpha. He was a storm with a singular purpose: keep me alive. Finally, we reached a massive obsidian door carved with ancient symbols of the moon goddess. Cassian pushed it open, revealing a private sanctuary, vaulted ceilings, warm firelight, shelves of old books, and a B. D big enough to fit 3 wolves. I stopped in the doorway. I can't stay here. Aries turned slowly, his eyes locking onto mine. You can. And you will. His certainty made me dizzy. This is the king's private chamber. Only the queen, exactly. I froze. What? He closed the distance between us, one step at a time, until he stood inches away. I could feel his breath on my lips, warm and slow. Celine, my wolf recognized you the moment we walked into the ballroom. I felt the bond snap into place like an anchor hooking into my soul. His hand slid to the side of my neck, fingers resting where the mate mark would eventually be. You feel it too, don't lie. I closed my eyes because if I looked at him, I'd melt. Everything inside me was screaming yes. The pull, the heat, the instinct, but reality slapped me hard. I don't fit here, I whispered. I'm not like the others. I'm not trained for court. I don't wear diamonds, I don't have a title, and yet, he murmured, you're the only one my wolf bowed to. He tilted my chin upward. I had no choice but to look at him. Do you know what the prophecy says? I blinked. Prophecy? He hesitated for a moment, then lifted his hand toward a hidden panel on the wall. It opened, revealing an ancient scroll sealed with the mark of the moon. Cassian looked alarmed. Your Majesty, are you sure? That scroll is. I'm done hiding fate, Ares snapped. He unrolled it, revealing faded ink and a painted moon crest. Ares read out loud, voice deep and steady. The Alpha King's true strength will awaken only when he is bound to the mate born under a cursed moon. The girl who carries no title, no riches, and no lineage. My heart stopped. No title, no riches, no lineage. Me. I stumbled back, chest tightening. I don't want to be part of a prophecy, I whispered. I just want to be normal. Ares stepped forward slowly. You were never meant to be normal. His fingers brushed mine. You were meant to change the kingdom. I shook my head. I don't know anything about being queen. You'll learn. I might fail. I'll catch you. My throat closed. I'm scared. His voice lowered into a whisper, gentle, haunting. So am I. That honesty broke something inside me. The King of Red Moon, feared by thousands, admitted he was afraid of losing me. He took my hands in his, or maybe I placed mine in his. I wasn't sure. When the moon chooses, he murmured, we don't run. We obey. But fate didn't scare me. People did, especially my stepsister. Shadows in the palace while Ares guided me to sit by the fireplace, Cassian excused himself. I'll increase security, he said, bowing. And I'll find out who entered the palace with black nightshade. When the door shut, silence WRA. PPED around us. Ares leaned his elbows on his knees, watching me with a predator's intensity. What are you thinking? He asked softly. That maybe someone in this palace wants me gone before tonight ends. His expression sharpened. You're not leaving my side. Not tonight. Not ever. Heat flooded my cheeks. I didn't agree to, you don't have to agree. His voice lowered, rough and raw. The bond already did. My wolf shivered in bliss. Suddenly, a sharp clatter echoed in the hallway. Ares stood instantly, pulling me behind him in one fluid motion. Who's there? He growled. A guard answered from the other side of the door. My king, forgive me. A woman tried to slip into this wing without authorization. My heart sank. No, not her. A guard dragged someone into view. Liana, her hair a mess, diamonds rattling on her dress as she struggled. She locked eyes with me, and her fury was pure poison. I knew it, she screamed. He's choosing you? Over me? You're nothing. Ares didn't flinch. Cassian, he said calmly, remove her. Liana shrieked, voice echoing off marble walls. Celine doesn't deserve you, she's a curse. A curse. There it was. The palace guards hauled her away, her insults growing louder until the door slammed shut. Silence followed. My breath shook. You see now? Ares whispered. You're not safe with your family. You never were. I didn't argue. Because I finally understood. Liana didn't hate me because I existed. She hated me because I was chosen. Ares turned to me, eyes burning with promise and danger. This is only the beginning. Whoever wants to harm you, will burn. He gently cupped my face, lowering his head until our foreheads touched. We face whatever comes next together. His words wrapped around me like a shield. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel alone. I woke to the crackling of fire. Warmth pressed against my back, and soft sheets cocooned my body. For a moment, I wasn't sure if I was dreaming or dead, until I inhaled the scent surrounding me. Pine, smoke, something wild. Aries. Memories of last night slammed back. The ballroom, the poison, the deadly threat. Claim her and she dies. My heart kicked painfully against my ribs. I sat up too quickly. I wasn't in my room. I was in his bed. Huge, soft, draped in dark silk. The walls glowed from the morning sun filtering through tinted windows. For a moment, I simply stared, unsure how I ended up here. Then, "You're awake." His voice came from near the balcony. Aries stood shirtless, body cut in hard muscle, scars telling silent stories across his back. He was holding a file, reading, pacing like a contained storm. He hadn't slept. His hair was messy, his jaw shadowed with stubble. Yet he looked like danger SCULPTED into perfection. When he turned, his eyes locked onto me like I was the only thing alive. "How do you feel?" he asked, voice softer than last night. "Like I might throw up," I admitted. One corner of his mouth twitched, almost a smile. "That's normal. Being threatened with death affects the stomach." He crossed the room and stopped beside the bed. Not touching, but close enough that the bond hummed between us. My wolf purred, pushing to the surface, wanting him, needing him. Aries noticed. His gaze sharpened, silver darkening to steel. "You shifted closer to me in your sleep." Heat shot to my face. "Embarrassing. I didn't sleep next to you on purpose." He lowered his voice. "I know." A pause. "But my wolf took advantage anyway." Just like that, my heart began doing gymnastics. He gestured to a tray on the side table. "Eat something." On the tray was breakfast, berries, bread, eggs, even chocolate. My stomach growled traitorously. "You made this?" I blurted. "The chef did," he corrected, amused. "I only threatened to fire him if he didn't hurry." "You what?" Aries shrugged like firing people over fruit was normal. I picked up a strawberry and took a bite. Aries watched the movement of my lips like it was a slow-motion scene in a forbidden movie. "Celine," he said quietly. "Until we find who wants you dead, we have rules." "Rules?" "Yes." He sat on the bed beside me. My pulse raced. "Rule 1. You don't walk anywhere without guards." "Not even the bathroom?" "Especially the bathroom," he whispered, like it was a completely reasonable thing to say. "Rule 2. If anyone, especially a noble, asks who you are, you say nothing. And if they insist?" He leaned in. "You let me speak for you." His voice did something to me. Something I wasn't ready to name. "And the last rule," he murmured, brushing a strand of hair behind my ear. His fingers grazed my skin. My breath caught. "Rule 3. Never run from me." My heart stuttered. I wasn't planning to run. "You were thinking about it," he said. How did he know? "Your first instinct is to survive alone," he whispered. "Mine is to protect." The bond throbbed between us. My voice came out small. "You can't protect me from everything, Aries." He met my eyes, unblinking. "I can try." Suddenly, footsteps echoed outside the chamber. Aries rose instantly, alpha alert. Without warning, he hooked an arm around my waist, pulling me behind him protectively, shielding me from whatever was coming. Cassian entered, bowing. "Forgive the interruption. We found the poison source." Aries' muscles coiled tight. "Speak." Cassian set a box on the table. Carved into its lid was a crest. 2 serpent wolves circling a crescent moon. My blood turned to ice. I recognized that crest. Blackthorn Pack. Our sworn enemy. That crest belonged to the wolf who nearly destroyed our borders last year. A tyrant, Alpha Dante Blackthorn. Cassian continued, voice low. "The maid didn't smuggle poison into the palace." He pointed to the crest. "It was handed to her by someone wearing this." "How?" I whispered. "Blackthorn wolves can't cross our borders without permission." Cassian's jaw clenched. "They didn't come through the border." He paused. "They came through your house." I froze. Aries stilled beside me. "My house?" Cassian nodded. "We suspect someone inside your family estate willingly escorted Blackthorn wolves inside the palace. Someone who knew Celine would be here." The world spun. "Liana." Aries didn't wait. He stormed toward the door. "I'm going to interrogate her," he growled. "Aries, wait." I hurried after him. "Let me talk to Liana first." "She might." He whirled around, eyes glowing with silver fury. "She tried to have you killed." "Maybe she didn't. Maybe someone manipulated her or, no." That single word slammed into me. No one manipulates people into murder. His voice was an icy calm I had never heard from him before. I am the king. I execute those who threaten my mate. The word mate almost distracted me from the fact he just casually mentioned execution. He took a step closer, looming over me. You're defending a girl who sold you to death. I'm trying to understand, I whispered. You're trying to survive. He leaned in. So am I inhaled shakily. My wolf doesn't want her hurt. Ares stared at me like I was an unsolvable puzzle. Suddenly, his voice softened, not tender, but dangerous with restraint. You will not see her alone. I'm not afraid of Liana, you should be, he snapped. She hates you enough to kill. I didn't want to believe it. Liana was cruel, jealous, selfish, but murder? No. Ares moved faster than I could react, gripping my wrist and pressing my palm against his chest. His skin was hot, heartbeat unsteady. If anything happened to you, he whispered, I would tear this kingdom apart. He wasn't exaggerating. He meant every word. A sudden knock shattered the moment. A servant girl entered, trembling. My king, Lady Liana requests an audience. She says it's urgent. Ares' gaze went icy. Bring her to the interrogation room. Actually, she's already inside, the girl squeaked. Ares shoved back a curse. Cassian raised a brow. She forced her way in? No, the servant whispered. She said, she had news you'd want. The interrogation room. The room was windowless, cold stone, metal table, chains on the wall. A room built for confessions. Liana sat on a chair, hands folded primly in her lap, like this was a tea party. She ill wore last night's gown. Diamonds glittered on her neck, but her smile was venom. Celine, she cooed as I stepped in. What a romantic night you had. Sharing the king's bed already? Ares stepped between us. If you speak to her with that tone again, your head will be removed from your shoulders. Liana went pale, only for a second, before plastering on a fake pout. I came to warn you. Cassian scoffed. After poisoning her? Liana slammed her hands on the table. I didn't poison her. I flinched. She wasn't smiling now. Her eyes were wild, terrified. She turned to me. Celine, I may hate you, but I would never kill you. My heart twisted. I didn't want to believe her. But something about her voice sounded real. Then who did? I asked quietly. She swallowed. Someone more dangerous than me. Her voice dropped. Alpha Dante Blackthorn. Ares snarled at the name. He's been stalking the king's throne for months, Liana whispered. He heard a rumor, about a prophecy. My blood chilled. The prophecy. The cursed moon girl who awakens the king's power. You're the girl, Celine, Liana said, her voice trembling. And Dante wants to claim you first. Time stopped. He thinks, she continued, voice trembling, that whoever marks you first, wins the kingdom. Ares' aura exploded. The table shook. Torches flickered. The room felt suffocating. He pushed Liana back with a growl. You should pray Celine speaks for you. Liana looked at me desperately. Celine, please. I made mistakes, but I swear I thought Dante only wanted the crown, not your death. I couldn't speak. My throat was closing. Ares turned to me, eyes burning. You are not leaving my protection again. If Dante wants to mark you, he'll die before he takes a single step onto my territory. He grabbed my chin gently, forcing me to look up at him. You are mine. My heart pounded. And I whispered, belong to myself. Ares' expression didn't soften. It doesn't matter who you belong to, he said. It only matters who's coming to take you. The castle corridor echoes with our footsteps. Ares walks beside me, towering, silent, radiating power like a storm that hasn't decided whether to destroy or protect. The air is thick with energy, heavy with the scent of pine and danger. Torches flicker as we pass, casting sharp shadows against the ancient stone walls. My heart is still racing from what happened in the ballroom. I can't forget the way Liana screamed, she doesn't deserve him. I can still feel the warmth of Ares' hand wrapped around mine when he pulled me away from everyone's stares. Now we walk alone. I swallow, trying to steady my breath. I didn't mean to cause a scene, I whisper. Ares stops. Slowly, deliberately. When he turns to me, his wolf is right there beneath the surface, feral, wild, angry. You didn't, he growls. They did. My pulse thunders. No one has ever defended me before. He steps closer, invading my space but not touching me, letting his presence speak louder than words. My wolf went insane the moment I smelled your fear, he says. All I could think about was ripping apart whoever caused it. I blink, stunned. And no one's ever? I take a breath. No one's ever stood up for me like that. His jaw clenches. Get used to it. We start walking again, but as we turn the corner, a sudden cold wind slams through the corridor. The torches flicker violently. Ares shifts instantly, shoulders tense, muscles alert. Stay behind me. I don't argue. He sniffs the air, eyes sharp, focused. There was someone here. His voice is low and dangerous. Someone who shouldn't be. I peek around him, but all I see is darkness swallowing the end of the hallway. Who would sneak around the king's private wing? I ask. He doesn't answer, because both of us already know who might. Liana. But Ares remains silent, jaw tightening. We walk again, but suddenly, bang. The sound echoes behind us. My heart jumps to my throat. Before I can turn, Ares is already shielding me with his body, his arm curling around my waist, pulling me flush against him as he growls, "Show yourself." A shadow darts across the wall, fast, purposeful. Not Liana. Something else. Something darker. Ares releases a warning growl so deep I feel it vibrate through his chest. His eyes shift, gold and feral. Witch scent, he mutters. Faint, but old. Someone has been watching. A witch? In the palace? My wolf bristles. I whisper, why would a witch spy on us? Ares looks down at me, his expression suddenly unreadable. Because the mate of an alpha king holds power. And someone clearly wants to interfere. My breath catches. Mate? I repeat quietly. You're certain I'm... He interrupts, voice firm, final. My wolf recognized you the moment I saw you. Whether you accept it or not, you are mine. I open my mouth to respond, but a voice slices through the corridor. How adorable. We both turn. Liana stands at the far end of the hallway, leaning against the wall, arms crossed, wearing a cruel smirk. Her makeup is smudged, her lipstick uneven, but her eyes gleam with satisfaction. She isn't shocked. She isn't sorry. She is furious. Liana slowly walks toward us, heels striking the marble with venomous confidence. You think you can take him from me? She snarls at me. You're nobody, Celine. Just an orphan the pack pity adopted. A sting. Sharp. Familiar. But before I can say anything, Ares steps in front of me, his voice dripping with lethal calm. You will not speak to her that way. Liana laugh. Bitter and ugly. You're choosing her? Over me? I'm everything a Luna should be. Wealthy. Beautiful. Powerful. And she is mine. The words hit the air like thunder. Liana freezes. Ares walks toward her, eyes glowing with threat. I do not want your beauty, he snarls. I want my mate. She tries to hold her ground, lips trembling. You don't even know her. He smirks without humor. I don't need to know her. I feel her. I feel tears prick my eyes. Not because of his words, but because for the first time, someone saw me. Chose me. Claimed me. Liana's face twists with rage. This isn't over, she hisses. I will make you regret rejecting me. She storms off, heels clicking like bullets. The moment she disappears, Ares turns to me again. He reaches out slowly, as if I'm something breakable. Celine, he murmurs, brushing a stray strand of hair from my face. I'm not asking you to accept anything right away. I only ask one thing. His thumb gently tilts my chin up. Don't run from me. My heart melts and panics at the same time. I don't know if I'm ready, I whisper. He steps closer, voice softening. That's fine. I'll wait. But no one, not witches, not Liana, not fate, will take you from me. Then, surprising even himself, he leans in. And presses his forehead against mine. It's not a kiss. It's a promise. A silent vow that shakes the both of us. The night air tastes like tension. After the confrontation with Liana, Ares insists on escorting me to the temporary guest chamber assigned to me. The corridor we walk through seems darker than earlier, quieter, almost too quiet. No distant chatter, no footsteps, no servants, just silence. My instincts whisper a warning. Does this wing always stay this empty? I ask. Ares shakes his head. No, something is wrong. His voice is calm, but his hand subtly brushes against mine, protective. His senses are sharp, scanning every shadow. The torches flicker as we pass, the flames stretching sideways like they're being pulled by wind that shouldn't exist indoors. My wolf is restless. I stop walking. Aries, someone is watching us. He doesn't ask how I know. He simply reacts. He positions himself in front of me, shoulders tense. The air shifts, heavy with primal dominance. Show yourself, he commands, his voice echoing like thunder. Nothing. Then suddenly, scratch. A long, slow dragging sound, like claws scraping the wall. It comes from behind us. Aries spins around. Stay behind me. I do. We move down the corridor, following the sound. It stops abruptly at a dead-end hallway with a tall stained glass window, moonlight filtering in. The window depicts the ancient bond between a king and his mate. But something feels wrong. Aries inhales, and his entire body FFNs. Witchcraft, he growls under his breath. Before I can ask how he knows, the temperature drops. My breath fogs in front of me. Then, whoosh, wind slams into us, violent and icy. It pushes me backward, and I would have fallen if Aries hadn't grabbed my wrist. The torches lining the walls extinguish one by one. Darkness swallows everything. Aries. He pulls me flush against him, shielding me with his body. Don't move, he whispers. I cling to his arm, pulse racing. I've never felt darkness scream before, but that's what it feels like. A silent, suffocating scream. Then, a voice slithers through the air. A voice with no body. She doesn't deserve you. My heart drops. That voice. Soft, sweet, poisoned. Liana. But it isn't her presence. It isn't her scent. This presence is colder, heavier, unnatural. Aries snarls, his voice ripping through the darkness. Liana, show yourself. I'm not Liana. The disembodied voice laughs, deep and echoing. Low, ancient, wrong. A shadow appears in front of the stained glass, humanoid but distorted, like smoke given shape. A hooded silhouette, face hidden. A witch. Aries bares his fangs. Identify yourself. The shadow tilts its head. Your mate is a threat to destiny. My mate is none of your concern, Aries growls. She will destroy kingdoms. My blood runs cold. The witch's voice softens, like a promise laced with venom. Reject her now, and you keep your throne. Aries laughs, a chilling, lethal sound. You threaten the wrong king. He lunges, and everything explodes. The stained glass window shatters, wind blasting through like a hurricane. I scream as shards of colored glass rain down. Aries grabs me, twisting midair, using his own body to shield me from the falling blades of glass. We hit the ground. He rolls, taking the impact instead of letting me get hurt. Are you okay? He breathes. I open my eyes, stunned, shaking. Why, yes. He brushes glass from my hair with trembling hands. The witch's laughter fades from the corridor like smoke dissolving. She is not the Luna, her voice whispers, echoing. She is the downfall. Then silence. The witch disappears. Aries stands, fuming, eyes burning molten gold. Celine, he says, grabbing my face gently, forcing me to look at him. Listen to me. Don't let their lies take root. You are my mate. But if I'm causing danger, he hushes me. His forehead presses against mine, his voice low and fierce. You are not the danger, you are the target. My breath stops, and I'm done letting anything come near you. He lifts me into his arms, effortless, like I weigh nothing, and walks away from the shattered glass. No more guest chamber, he says. What? I stammer. His jaw flexes, tone final. You're sleeping in my wing. Air, I can protect you. My heart pounds for 100 reasons. Danger, fear, desire. But when he tightens his grip around me, like I'm precious, I know one thing for sure. The world may want to take me down. But Aries will burn it to the ground before he lets that happen. Aries doesn't slow down until we reach his wing, a massive door carved with ancient wolf sigils. 2 guards immediately bow. Your Majesty, no one enters, Aries commands, voice sharp as a blade. If anyone approaches, you alert me. If anyone tries to get in, he pauses, eyes turning cold, you kill first, ask later. The guards stiffen. Yes, Alpha King. My heart races. Am I really that important now? Aries pushes the door open and steps inside with me still in his arms. Only when we're far from the corridor's sight does he gently set me down. I gasp. The room is breathtaking. A towering stone fireplace crackles softly, casting warm shadows across a grand 4-poster bed draped in deep red velvet. Massive windows reveal a view of the full moon, glowing huge and perfect over the kingdom. This is your room? I whisper. He nods. But I don't have to sleep here, right? My voice cracks slightly. You don't have to accommodate me. Ares turns to look at me slowly. Celine, after what happened tonight, I'm not letting you out of my sight. My stomach flips. He walks toward me, slow, intentional, like a predator stalking prey, but not to harm, to claim. When he speaks, his voice is lower than before. There was witch magic tonight. Someone wants you gone. But why me? I whisper. He stops right in front of me, lifting my chin gently. Because fate chose you. The fireplace crackles. Silence wraps around us, heavy with something electric. I take a breath. Where will you sleep? He raises a brow. Here. I blink. You mean, in the same? Yes. My brain short circuits. I can take the couch, I blurt out. There is no couch. His lips twitch with amusement. And even if there was, I wouldn't let you sleep there. I can sleep on the floor. No. Ares, his wolf flashes in his eyes, gold, intense. You think I could sleep knowing you were on the ground while something is hunting you? I swallow. He steps closer, voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. I will never let you be unprotected. Not even for a second. Heat crawls up my neck. Ares moves toward a wardrobe and pulls out something soft. Here, he says, handing me a silk shirt. Wear this. It's more comfortable than that dress. The shirt smells like pine and thunderstorms and something uniquely him. My fingers tremble as I take it. I'll change behind the screen, I murmur, embarrassed. When I step behind the divider and slip into the shirt, the fabric falls mid-thigh. It's big, warm, safe. I breathe in his scent, and my wolf purrs. When I come out, Ares is already shirtless. I freeze. His back is to me, muscles defined and scarred, proof of battles, of pain survived. He turns, and my breath catches. He's so beautiful it hurts. He notices me staring, smirks slightly, then instantly hides it, trying to act serious. I'll stay on top of the covers, he says quietly. You'll be comfortable. But as I approach the bed, something flickers in the corner of the room, a faint shimmer like airbending. My instincts scream. Ares, he moves faster than lightning, pulling me into his side. What did you see? He asks. There was something, like a ripple in the air. Ares growls low, scanning the room. He places his hand on the small of my back, steady, grounding. We're safe, he says, but I can hear tension under his voice. I climb on the bed, hesitating. He sits beside me, leaning back against the headboard, one arm draped casually behind me. It's okay, he says. Lie down. I do. He shifts, pulling the blanket over us, his presence warm beside me. I close my eyes, trying to calm my racing heart. Minutes pass in silence. Then softly, without looking at me, he asks, Do you regret meeting me? My chest tightens. No, I whisper. I'm scared, but I don't regret it. He exhales shakily, like those were the words he desperately needed. He turns on his side to face me. Our noses are inches apart. If anything tries to touch you, witch, wolf, or fate, he whispers, voice trembling with violence, I will destroy everything in the way. I stare into his eyes, breath shivering. Why me? I ask. He leans closer, forehead touching mine. My wolf has never bowed to anything. Not threats, not fate, not even death. His voice breaks and rebuilds in the same breath. But he bowed to you. My heart stops. He brushes his knuckles against my cheek, slow, reverent. And now I will too. The world fades, only his breath and mine. And the terrifying, beautiful truth hanging between us. The Alpha King doesn't just want me. He's falling, hard, and he will burn the kingdom if anyone tries to take me. Morning arrives, but it doesn't feel like morning. Not with Ares still lying beside me. Not with his arm still around my waist. Not with the memory of last night haunting my thoughts, the witch's voice, the shattered window, and Ares whispering that he would burn the world for me. He shifts in his sleep, tightening his hold as if his wolf refuses to let go even while unconscious. His body is warm against mine, steady and grounding. My heart betrays me, because part of me never wants him to release me. But reality crashes in the moment a guard bangs on the bedroom door. Your Majesty, urgent matter. The council ends your presence. Ares growls low, eyes still closed. I said no one disturbs us. The guard swallows audibly through the door. They insist, Your Majesty. Lady Lyanna is making accusations. Ares sits up sharply. I do too, dread curling in my stomach. He turns to me, and his face softens instantly. He brushes a thumb across my cheekbone. You will stay behind me the entire time. Do you understand? I nod. But when we step into the council hall, I realize that nothing could have prepared me for this. The hall is full. Pack leaders, ministers, advisors, all staring, and in the center stands Lyanna, beautiful, furious, trembling with theatrical grief. She points a shaking finger at me. She bewitched him, gasps echo across the hall. She used witchcraft to seduce the Alpha King, she cries out. She's a nobody. She came from nothing, she doesn't deserve to be Luna. My blood freezes. The council begins whispering, talking over one another. Witchcraft? Is this true? She appeared suddenly in the ceremony. She was not invited. Ares steps forward, voice sharp and lethal. There was witchcraft last night. He pauses, eyes sweeping over the crowd like a storm, but it wasn't from Selene. He turns to Lyanna. It was protecting her from something. Lyanna's face goes pale. I breathe out, shaky. Then a minister stands. If there is suspicion of magic, a test must be done. Tradition requires that the potential Luna undergo a purity trial. My heart drops. Purity trial? Ares growls, furious. No one touches her. It's the law, Lyanna says innocently, fake tears gleaming. The minister continues, she must place her hand on the moonfire stone. If she holds darkness, the stone will burn her. Lyanna smiles. She thinks this will expose me. She thinks the stone will reject me. Ares turns to me, eyes dark with worry. You don't have to do this. I take a breath. My wolf steadies me. I'm not afraid. I step toward the center of the hall. The moonfire stone sits atop a silver pedestal, glowing faintly with an inner light that pulses like a heartbeat. People murmur. Lyanna smirks. Ares stands behind me like a shield of flesh and muscle. I place my hand on the stone. Time freezes. Silence deepens. The stone warms, glows brighter, brighter. Then suddenly, a blinding flash erupts. Gasps fill the hall. The stone doesn't burn me. It turns pure white, a glow so intense that the hall fills with light. Everyone drops to their knees. Because white light means one thing, chosen by the moon goddess. The priest whispers, trembling, only true fated mates can do that. The glow fades, and I turn to Ares. His wolf is in his eyes, raw, reverent, stunned. In one step he's in front of me, grabbing my face with both hands. Voice breaking. You are my mate. I try to speak, but tears blur my vision. Ares turns to the hall, voice booming. Hear me. Selene isn't just chosen by me, she is chosen by the goddess herself. He pulls me into his arms, holding me against his chest. I claim her. The hall erupts. Lyanna screams. No, this was supposed to be mine. In her rage, she lunges at me. Ares moves faster. His wolf surges, eyes glowing gold as he catches her wrist midair. If you ever try to hurt her again, he snarls, voice dripping with promise, I will banish you from this kingdom. Lyanna stumbles back, tears of fury streaking her makeup. She tries to speak, but no sound comes out. She turns and storms out of the hall. Ares looks at me again, soft now, gentle. He rests his forehead on mine. You are safe, he whispers. I swear to you, you are safe. And as his arms tighten around me, I know something has changed forever. He didn't just claim me in private. He claimed me in front of the world. The moon is full again. Not like the night I walked into the palace for the first time, frightened, invisible, unwanted. Tonight, the moon shines like it's blessing us. The entire kingdom gathers in the open courtyard. Lanterns float in the night air, glowing like golden fireflies. Wolves, nobles, warriors, every eye is fixed on the stone altar where Ares and I stand, the ancient sigil of the moon goddess carved beneath our feet. My heart trembles, not from fear, but from disbelief. This moment is mine. I'm no longer the girl who hid in corners, afraid of being seen. I'm not the unwanted orphan or the background shadow behind my glittering stepsister. Tonight, I stand as the fated mate of the Alpha King. Ares stands in front of me, dressed in black ceremonial armor with the red moon crest, his wolf symbol. The firelight makes the metallic markings shimmer like living flame. His eyes burn with that familiar gold glow. Possessive, devoted, unbreakable. Our hands meet. He presses his palm against mine, and I feel the spark, that soul-deep pull that first ignited inside me the moment he looked at me. The priest steps back and speaks words older than any kingdom. Two hearts, bound in soul. Two wolves, bound in destiny. The air thickens with power, the wind swirling around us. The moonfire stone begins to glow once again, brighter than ever before, so bright people shield their eyes. But I don't look away. Because Ares is looking at me like I'm the only thing he has ever worshipped. I take a breath. My voice doesn't shake when I speak my vow. I choose you, not because destiny demands it, but because my soul recognizes yours. For a moment, silence. Total stillness. Then Ares speaks. His voice is low, rough, thick with emotion. I spent my whole life believing nothing could touch me. His thumb brushes my cheek, reverent. No threat, no prophecy, no fate. His voice breaks. Until you. The crowd disappears. The world falls away. Only us. My kingdom is yours, he whispers. My wolf is yours. I am yours. Suddenly, light erupts around us. A surge of white energy bursts from where our hands touch. Golden lines race across the ground, forming an unbroken circle of moonlight. The bond seals with a shockwave that ripples through the courtyard. The glow fades. Then the priest bows deeply, trembling. The moon has chosen her queen. Cheers erupt. Warriors drop to their knees. Wolves lower their heads. Even the council bows. Ares doesn't lift his gaze from me. He doesn't care about the ceremony, the power, the title. He cups my face, eyes fierce and soft all at once, and pulls me into the most breathtaking kiss, slow at first, like a promise. Then deeper. The bond snaps into place between our souls, a silver thread tying him to me. I feel his heart, his fear, his pride, and his overwhelming, unapologetic love. When we finally break apart, his forehead remains pressed to mine. You're home, he whispers. Home. A word I never thought I'd have. From the corner of my eye, I notice Liana standing at the edge of the courtyard, dressed in black, silent, defeated. Not angry anymore, just empty. For a moment, our eyes meet. She turns away and disappears into the shadows. For the first time ever, she doesn't matter. Because I finally do. Ares wraps his cloak around me, like a shield. The noise from the crowd fades into laughter and celebration. Music starts. Wolves howl toward the moon, not in mourning, but in honor. Ares takes my hand. Come, he murmurs. Your life as queen begins now. I walk with him through the cheering crowd, my dress flowing, my wolf glowing inside me, strong, sure, complete. Not because I was chosen by a king, but because I finally chose myself. And as Ares leans down and kisses my shoulder, whispering that he loves me, I know one truth with absolute certainty. I am not the downfall. I am the destiny, and I will rule beside him, not as the girl who was overlooked, but as the Luna queen chosen by the moon.